This week I'm back in Great Langdale and I'm going to be making my way up to Thunacar Knott from Noob Dungeon Gill. The walk's going to be quite steep to start with, as I've kind of got to get all the way up there. Not there. There you go. And that's just to get us up to the top where the pikes are, and then the next stage is making our way over to Thunacar Knott. I've walked a little bit of a distance so far. It's not very far, just about a quarter of a mile up from New Dungeon Gill, and so I'm going to now start hitting this quite steep bit. Apparently there's waterfalls, there's a nice gill, and of course you've got the fantastic Great Langdale in the background. One of my favourite backdrops in the entire Lake District. I love it here. So yeah, better make a move on. It's quite cool at the minute for a summer's day, so hopefully it's going to stay dry. It looks promising. So I'll make a move now before it gets too hot. So at this point in the walk I've got to cross Dungeon Gill, which is actually flowing quite fast considering we've been having a bit of a drought recently, so it's quite nice to see. But I found it nice coming up a little bit further to here. There's quite a nice little passing point, shallow point that I can probably get across without risking falling in, which I don't really want to do. So yeah, the path's getting steeper, the temperature of the day is starting to warm up a bit, so I have to get my jacket off and have a drink of water, possibly something to eat, and then press on up to the top. So I've stopped at a location called Mark Gate, which is the top of the first big climb, I guess. Just for a little rest. I'm going to have something to eat, enjoy the view of the valley, which is beautiful from here, and take some pictures. So I've got this wonderful view looking southeast down the valley, which is just gorgeous really. I'm looking away from the mountains. The mountains are all up that side. I can see Parker Blisco over there, but Bowfell and Crinkle Crags are totally, I can't say Crinkle Crags today, I don't know what's wrong with me, totally obscured by the cliff face at the side of me. So yeah, I've just got a really nice valley shot here, so I'm just going to take this. What I've got here is a nice view of the valley. It's sort of dappled with broken light off the clouds. Got Lingmore directly ahead of me is like the dominant entity, and the ridge on this side, and the river sort of snaking off into the distance up towards what I think is Windermere at the end. It's quite nice. But it's so beautiful up here, so peaceful. It's quite a quiet path, it's not that popular as far as I can tell. Which is, so it's a good thing in my opinion. Sometimes you just want to have a bit of peace and quiet. Right, head on. So I'm getting there. I'm just coming up to the top of Mark Gate. Just had a glimpse of the pikes and sort of the route ahead, so it's all looking good. So I'm over looks like I'm over the worst bit of it, the steepest bit. I say worse, you know, some people like that. I'm not a big fan because I'm quite heavy. Yeah, as I was saying before, have a look at the view. It's really quite spectacular, isn't it? Just every direction is quite amazing. It's a bit too bright and sunny for photography today, so I'm not expecting to get anything special, but you never know. Yeah, it's another nice day though. Alright, well, kind of got to go up this path up here. I say kind of, you have to go up this path up here. It's going to take me all the way up over the top of that. So I better press on really, hadn't I? So, as I've been coming around Mark Gate, I've spotted this nice composition of Great Tarn, and the light quite nice on the valley and on the tarn at the minute, and there's the Lingmore is in relief, which looks good, and there's some nice crags here in the foreground. So I'm going to take a couple of shots and with this and see what I can get. So stopping for a break and something to eat before tackling the final bit. The last, well, I say final bit, it's the last big climb, which looks much bigger than I was expecting. Now that I'm here, I thought I'd be over most of it. Oh God. Now there's a sandwich that's in better days. So happens when you carry everything in the small bag. Yeah, well, it'll still taste the same. Of course, now I've sat down for a break, the sun's come out beautifully on the other side of the valley. But I'm going to eat my mangled sandwich and drink my water, irrespective and regardless. This little camera's been this little camera's been through quite a lot today. It fell over on some rocks and mud by the stream earlier. Oh, good grief! I can't leave that. That lighting's perfect for what I wanted before. All right, panic. Crash inverted, photograph taken, back to the buoy. Yeah, this little camera's suffered a bit today. It fell in, I don't know how it did it, it just fell over and seemed to just hit the muddiest bit with the lens. So hopefully I managed to get all of it off and I haven't got it all in the mechanism. It was quite a mess. I have to admit, this walk is taking me a lot longer than I'd anticipated. I find that a lot. Mainly it's because I keep stopping to film these little bits, and it's a terrible place for doing a piece to camera because it's just so distracting. On the other side of the valley I'm watching the light change and that, and it's just brilliant. So you just amuse yourselves while I watch this. It has been a glorious day for it. I did warn that it might be quite windy, but it's been alright. This is just the kind of weather I like at this time of year, at least. Not too much wind, a little bit of a breeze to keep you cool, intermittent sun, not too hot. I think that's key for me. You don't really want mad hot when you're climbing up big hills like these and mountains. So yeah, just got this section to get over, and then it's a bit of a gradual drag up to Thunacar Knott apparently, which shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, I'll finish my sandwich and then I'll get on. Well, made it to the top of the steep bit, so as I saw in a minute. Basically, there's like a long, steep set of stairs after you get past Mark Gate, till which leads right up. It's quite an easy to climb path, but it's steep, and it leads right up to the pikes, which is good. So yeah, it's quite. As a route up here that's not too difficult, doesn't require any proper scrambling or anything, then yeah, it's a very good route. As a route that's easy, it's not, because it's steep. Well, anybody reasonably fit can make it up there, I'm sure. So yeah, I just need to have a minute and then head off to Thunacar Knott, which is sort of over that way somewhere. So yeah, let's do that. So finally leaving all the drama of the pikes behind and heading out onto the open moors. And behind me, over there, somewhere, there-ish, can you see my hand? I can't, there. There, over there is the target for today, Thunacar Knott. It doesn't look much, but it's tantalisingly close, isn't it? So I'm going to head across there now and then decide how I'm going to get back. So I'm working my way down something that's described on the map as Easy Gully. Yeah, I won't want to see the hard one. This is quite a treacherous sort of scree slope thing here. Well, it's a rocky path really, but it's quite steep. Fair bit of scrambling. Not to use my hands yet. But this will take me down to Pavey Ark. About halfway down it at the minute. Where on the map it's this main path you can see over here. Salt hands. Over there, there's like a subsidiary path joining it. So that's how I know I'm about halfway down. Well, that the GPS tells me, but but it's useful to be able to work these things out from the maps. Looking down ahead of me, you can see this is the various cairns marking out the path. So they're really there to help you know that you're on the right path, and also when it's winter and it's full of snow and ice, the path's covered, you can actually see the cairns. So that's what they're for. So I'm going to carry on working my way down. It's reasonably stable, but it does require a fair bit of concentration. because there's quite a lot of scree, a lot of loose rocks, but it's a reasonably well defined path so far. I came down here about 2 years ago in the middle of winter, well, or late autumn I think it was technically, and it was very wet. I just remember it being mildly terrifying because there was nothing to get a good grip on, and all the rocks were black and slippy. So at this time of year, while it's actually quite dry, it's actually quite easy to navigate. So that's good. I don't feel like I'm going to plummet to my death at any moment. Might make good television if somebody finds the video. Right, so I'm practically at the end of the gully. There's a little bit of a thing there that I've got to work my way down yet, but you can see the big reveal now. I can turn around without actually falling over. Behold, Stickle Tarn. Let's get down there. So that's it. I'm more or less off the easy gully. It's not easy at all. Just got these few cairns. Oh, just on the grass. It's going to be easier. A few cairns to negotiate, and I'm down. Okay, let's go and take a look at this tarn. I do hope I'm going the right way and I'm not just going to fall off a precipice into the tarn. Time to check the map. Yeah, turns out that's not the right way. I think I need to go over there. So, back at the cairn, and yeah, went completely the wrong way, went over that way. Really, should be following this. It's kind of obvious when you think about it, but I saw the tarn and just went for it. Rookie mistake. Well, I spoke too soon there about getting out of that gully, didn't I? Look what I've just found. Another gully. Flipping heck. Oh well, onwards and downwards. Nope, too close. Too close. So, finally on something that has a semblance of a path. No breath now. I have to keep going back up the bits I've just come down so I can take these B-roll shots. So yeah, onward to the tarn at last. made it to Stickle Tarn. Yeah. And over there you've got Harrison Stickle, which is the first of the Langdale pikes in the tarn itself. And we're going to walk past the tarn and we're going to follow down the gill that runs out of it, called Stickle Gill, which will take us all the way back to the new Dungeon Gill Hotel, which is where we started. So better crack on because it's actually getting quite late. So yeah, off we go.